I'm going to be looking at Friday, whatever's easier for you.
Hiya, Wisnieux with you. The guy in the adjacent area
You want to do like maybe I could do something probably like
just said,
4
"Hi,
o'clock
it's Jerry
tomorrow.
O'Donnell,"
Want to do
and I
that?
didn't recognize his voice. So
Okay. All right. Then give me an address, please.
there's Sterling.
And my phone
How
just
are
doesn't
ya?
want to sit down.
You
Doesn't want
what?
to stay where I want. My stand, it doesn't want to stay where I want it to stay.
All right. 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Well, I did give you a recommendation on a tripod, right?
Yep. About 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, and I should have got that tripod.
Did you?
Okay, Sean.
No, I need
Cool.
to. Next time I have a
Oh,
few
you need
dollars.
to. Yes.
4 o'clock tomorrow
Yes.
afternoon. Okay. I'll do
So
that.
a very casual get together. Who knows who will see this? But good times. Good to see you. We've been
Nice to
talking a
see
lot.
you.
I have my cute little microphone.
Yeah.
I'm going to be using this at our 20 to 30,000 person event this Saturday, interviewing people with this. I think it's going to be
Wow.
hilarious with the gimbal and this. I have better equipment. It's just not accessible to me at the moment, as you know.
I know.
Yes.
I know.
So that's a whole nother story. Hey, look who's there. Our dear friend who is being so kind with me lately. Hey, want to come in? Come on in. Join the stream.
Who's
And
in?
Steve's there.
Hi, Ann. Do we have this going on my Rumble too?
It should be. It's our
Good.
first time rumbling.
So we'll figure it out if we rumbled. If not, I can put it down later.
But I set it up.
Great.
Now get yourself centered because people will get very confused.
Yeah, I
that
know. I
you're-
know. I know.
Just tilt and yeah. I'm particular about composition. That's one of my things.
I'm so afraid it's gonna. I'm on my back porch.
No
'cause, you know,
fear. There is no fear.
right now, I think I need to move it the other way. Yeah.
False evidence appearing real. None of that.
Well, let me move my chair since that's being stubborn.
Mr. Farmer and Ms. De Silva, come on in. Well, you're in-ish. Actually, no. You're communicating through
Sorry
Facebook.
about any background noise. People are coming in and out.
No worries. So I put the link on my Facebook profile notification, but I'll also post it as a comment. Let's see if this works.
I'm gonna see if I can get this tightened some.
There you go. Tighten up. Do the tighten up. Okay, let's see if that link worked for y'all. Looks like it went out to YouTube and is it Twitch?
And my son will be setting soon, so I've got it where I can hit the light when it's set.
Dramatic lighting.
So I'll be messing with the lighting for a minute once the sun starts to set.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll be super picky now. Sterling, you've got too much headroom. Tilt down.
Okay. Tilt it down.
Match me.
All
See,
right.
matching eye lines is good.
All right.
Beautiful. All right. Now I'm gonna go.
All right, I'm gonna go and put my stuff on. Do not disturb. Hold on.
Okay. Let's see how this works. It's just me. Wouldn't you know it? See, I was gonna do that. You know, we're good at some things, but we're still practicing this thing. But we'll talk about that a little bit. Mr. Farmer and Ms. De Silva, have you been able to find the link? It's on my Facebook profile, my latest post is notification of this, and it's in the first comment. Can you go to my Facebook profile? Oh, wait, there's more. There we go. Hey,
All right,
hey.
and I apologize for the noise out here. I don't know where it's coming from, but I've told them I'm doing a live stream. So.
I don't hear a thing. I don't hear
All
a
right,
thing.
good. Except for me doing my chlorine dioxide.
Ms. De Silva, you are a gray rectangle, but say hello if you can unmute yourself.
Because I'm looking a mess.
Okay, that's all right.
Oh, that's getting way too noisy. Whoever's out there, I'm doing a live.
It sounds fine, Sterling. Fear not. Ms. De Silva, refresh Sterling's memory and our hordes of viewers as to how you got to know Sterling and how you and I got acquainted.
Well, I think Morley Robbins, we were discussing CBD. And
Morley Robbins?
root cause protocol.
Yeah.
I study under Morley. So
Marley used to live by me.
So they mentioned Sterling, and I looked up her work to look at the, effects on CBD oil on vitamin A status, I think. And
Wow.
so I started looking at her work. So that's how I started following Sterling.
Wow. How long ago
And
would
then
you
I
say?
think I saw you post, or her link came up, and then I saw you. So I was following you.
That's amazing. How long ago did you discover our dear Sterling?
I think a year and a half ago, maybe.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, 2
I
years.
don't drink my CDs, so forgive me.
Yeah. So that's
All
how
good.
it was. So I was interested in, learning that aspect to it. And then I think a lot of the root cause protocol know Sterling also and follow her.
Great.
Yes. So it was just on the health side of things.
And you have now become a great supporter of our ManKinder movement and are helping with our San Diego venture. And exactly the question that I've been posing to God, universe, whatever, is okay, now I need to get plugged into the whole NFT thing. And amazingly, you are quite expert in that area. That's extraordinary.
No, I'm not. I have a friend who I introduced you to.
Okay, well, your Twitter profile alone gives me the impression that you've got some connections in that realm. People are definitely listening to you and connecting to you in that realm. So that's really cool.
No, not me. I think that's Henry, who I introduced you to. I keep away. It's funny. I joke because I'm like, I would like to go off grid, no technology.
Now, wait, is Cal you or Henry?
That's Henry.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Okay,
Yes.
I get it now.
I have
was
no
like-
clue.
I was like, wow, how many skills does this woman have?
No. I have no skills in that, and I keep away from that. I'm awfully scared
gosh.
of that realm.
Wow.
But we're very good friends now, and
Absolutely.
he is kind of, he keeps talking about it because he knows a lot about it. So,
Got it.
and I'm
Okay.
always like, I think I'd like to get some gold and bury it in the ground.
Whatever works.
No, I don't know. It's like,
Wow.
I don't know where that whole crypto thing is going. And I am trying to find out, and I have no clue. I have friends everywhere, but, to me, is if they take the grid down, that crypto is going down.
Oh, yeah, it's probably going to go down when they do the financial collapse soon. Because between March and May, somewhere in between there, we're predicting all the scientists and doctors and researchers at Children's Health Defense Network are kind of predicting that somewhere between March and May, the bloodbath will begin for the ones that have been jabbed in December and January, and that they will do a financial collapse in order to keep your eye off of all the deaths.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I think, and I think
oh,
crypto.
it's almost undoubtedly certain.
So you think
Yeah.
then crypto will go down at that same time?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's all gonna. They're, you know, with chaos comes order. They're doing their new world order, so they've got to pull out all their punches. They're losing, and they're desperate right now. So,
Yes,
you know,
that's what I think too. So, but for
yeah.
Michael, where it's photography, NFT, I think my friend is seeing great gains in that. So I do think for now you can use that. You know, from now till March or whatever, I think it can help you with your photography.
Well, guys, I think Michael kind of went out for a minute.
I'm back.
He disappeared on us.
Yeah, I was trying. I had to jump over and provide the link for
Yeah.
Steve and anyone else that wants to jump in.
Okay. Well, I have a little bit to say. I kind of,
Please.
guys, we got a great list of people we want to interview. Some are going to be a little difficult to get, but we'll get them. But the other ones, you know, good friends. And I'm very good friends with many people, you know, many of the scientists that are working on the end to salvage humanity. So what I know me and Michael talked about was that we would go and try to make this where we can try to bring solutions to people. But I would like to eventually give you guys an update on Christopher Key and why he is being held. Okay. Whenever people get on, I would like to update Christopher Key because he's in the New York, the Washington Post right now, several other papers, hitting national news. And I would like to tell the truth about what's going on with him because I work with Christopher Key. I just finished up a documentary with him with Real Time Media, and it'll be up shortly. And we were getting ready to start another documentary with my neighbor, John Snyder from the Dukes of Hazzard. So that's kind of delayed for a moment until we see what's going on with Christopher. But I would like to give an update whenever you guys are ready on Christopher Key and what's going on and the premise to why they're picking on Louisiana. So.
Hey, Steve. Glad we figured it out. Good to see you. We haven't streamed together in a long time. Well, Sterling, I feel that now's a good time for you to tell us about what's going on with Mr. Key.
All right. What's going on with Mr. Key?
And by the way, folks, if you want to know more about Christopher Key, he is vaccine-police.com. And he's a really unedited, amazingly courageous, fearless guy, maybe a little off the hook at times. Some folks are saying he shouldn't be using the word police. I actually want to look at that in terms of the lawfulness, legality, and etymology of the word police exactly. Personally, he's doing what the great things that he's doing, I think, are so fantastic that I want to be deputized as part of the vaccine police. But maybe we need to nail it down just a little bit more carefully so we're sure that everything works optimally. But go ahead, Sterling, and give us an update on Christopher Key.
Okay. So night before last, Christopher gave me a call, and he basically told that there's a possibility when he comes into Louisiana that our governor was going to find a way to take him down. And so he had told me night before last if he was to go to jail to contact a certain person. I really can't say that person's name. It's a very big person, and I have their information. Well, he was headed to my son's house, and my son called me because my son was going to wrap his car with the vaccine police stuff. My son wraps for a living, wraps vehicles, 18-wheelers, and other makes signs. And
That's the graphic design. For folks that don't
design.
catch that, a wrap is the graphic design. It says vaccine police as though it were a really expensive paint job, but it's a plastic wrap because your son is a phenomenal graphic designer.
Yeah, he's one of the best in the country. Well, anyway, so my son called me up and said, well, where is he at? And then all of a sudden I'm looking at my phone because I was busy all day, and I'm seeing Christopher's in jail. Christopher's in jail. So I go look at Stu Peters, and it just says he's in jail for thought crimes. And I'm like, okay. So I call some contacts in Alabama, and I said, look, we got to find out whether he's in Alabama, Mississippi, or Louisiana, because he was headed this way. Well, he apparently he had to go to court because he was cited with a misdemeanor. He was cited with misdemeanor trespassing, criminal trespassing. And he went to court, and he was going to see a judge that was going to basically drop this stuff. And they changed the judge on the last minute. Wouldn't you know that they would change the judge on the last minute? And they had it to where, because he follows his rights as a sovereign being here on earth, that he was not going to wear the mask. So they had it set up that he could sit in a small room with his computer and Zoom to the judge. Well, they came in, he was filming, he took off the film when they told him to. He, argued with it for a minute. Sorry about the noise. Guys. All right, sorry about the noise. Well, anyway, so what had happened after that, after the cameras were turned off, basically he was told to wear a mask, and he was going to come in the courtroom, or he was going to be arrested for failure to appear, even though he was in the courthouse on Zoom talking directly to the judge on a misdemeanor. So I am 13 years recovered. For 13 years, I was a fugitive recovery agent who owned 6 bail bonds. And on the type of charges he has, they're misdemeanors and they're preset bonds. And when you went and looked at his rap sheet in Jefferson County, Alabama, it shows that pre-trial, no bond, which is against the law. It's constitutionally wrong, okay? It's fully against the law. When you have a misdemeanor, there's a preset bond. So today, they were supposed to set his bond. We don't know yet. My lawyers said they will call me. I've got plenty of criminal lawyers that are following it, including Gigi Lambert, and then ex-Senator John Mikovich, who's family law, and a few others. And they've been calling, ringing the phones off the hook. So the premise to this is why he is doing this. Just give me a second. Let me sit. Why we think they're doing this is because Louisiana took some money called ESSR from the federal government. Okay? And every parish did. We call our counties parishes. So, for instance, Washita Parish, where Spencer Young is, great guy we need to interview, we need to put him on our list. Spencer Young said Washita Parish, and that's a lower populated parish, took $70 million, okay, to agree to force vaccinate all the children from 5 to 11. Right? We found out that almost every parish took this blood money. I'm telling you, in Orleans Parish, that's our biggest city, New Orleans, they probably took the largest amount. They could have got $500 million for all we know. They won't release those public records to us and tell us. And I'm going to tell you why they went after Louisiana. Again, because it's one of the poorest states in the United States. So they were going to be ready to grab the money. Oh yeah, you can have all our kids. You can vaccinate them. And so they had to start with the vaccine on the elderly and then go into middle-aged and then get younger and then go to the children. Usually they start with the vaccine on the children. When they start with the vaccine on the children, the 1986 Act, Ronald Reagan passed, is covered. And then anybody who gets a vaccine, if they get hurt, they die, whatever, the pharmaceutical companies are not responsible for it, okay? But if you start with the adults and you don't get the children locked in, then they can be held for Nuremberg violations. So if they lock Louisiana in, like we think they're going to do, if we don't get 1 million people in Baton Rouge, and we're going to need people from all over the United States to get here as soon as possible, what's going to happen is that Big Pharma is going to be able to maim and kill whoever they want, and they will not be held accountable, and Nuremberg will not count. This is a fact. And this is why they came to Louisiana. And it was easy to come to Louisiana because they've been experimenting on our children for many years. If you follow Dr. Mary's monkey, Alton Ochsner, he owns about 90%, their family owns about 90% of the hospitals in Louisiana. They've wreaked havoc on Australia and almost every socialist and communist country in South America. And they have been raining terror on Louisiana for many years. As a matter of fact, the simian B40 virus and polio was put in 12 miles from my house. That was done at the Tulane Primate and Research Center, 12 miles from my house here, where they put the simian B40 in the monkey kidney cell tissue and then transferred it into the polio vaccine to give everybody lung cancer. And conveniently, Alton Ochsner, the owner of Ochsner Hospital System, who works with the CIA, if you read Dr. Mary's monkey, discovered lung cancer and helped found the first American Cancer Society. In the documentary that I'll be in, you will see me in front of Ochsner's main campus. Hopefully it'll be out by next month. And you will see me telling more about the history of Alton Ochsner and this evil empire. And also, we point out the first American Cancer Society that's right over there on it. I don't know how much they're going to show because what we did is it was NBC, radical media. So they're going to make us look bad, but bad press is good press, guys. But we made them sign contracts. So Stu Peters, Alex Jones, Gail of Gaia, Global Voice Network, and Christopher Key, Vaccine Police, were filming them, filming us. They even came into a conference I put together with many people. Eric Erics, they called him Baby Trump. Quite a few other people. David Dahlia, who is Ed T. Haslam's good friend, the author of Dr. Mary's Monkey, who is now an American frontline attorney. I introduced him to Simone Gold, and they hit it off great. But this is the premise of everything that's happening and why they're holding Christopher Key. So we might end up having to have people go and protest in front of Jefferson County Sheriff's Department, in front of the jail, in front of the courthouse too. We might have to get thousands of people over there if they do not set him a bond today, because I'm busy with you guys, so I don't know if a bond has been set yet. Maybe Christine will go and look around and see if a bond's been set yet. She's a friend of mine over here while I'm online and can try to give us some updated information. But as of right now, we don't know if the bond's been set. I think we would already heard if a bond was set because it started at 1 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So this is a mess. And they stopped him because they were bringing in people who know constitutional law to tell our lawyers what they could do to stop John Bel Edwards, who is in bed with the Clintons. He is very good friends with the Clintons. They perfectly strategized to set up Louisiana. They planned it from New Orleans. LaToya Cantrell, we call her LaToya the Destroyer. She is the mayor of New Orleans, and right now, if you go into New Orleans and you go in a restaurant and stuff, she has these quality of life officers that can come in, and if you can't show them your papers, like in Nazi Germany, you can get fined $500 and spend 6 months in jail. And if anybody, business owner, allows you in their place without your papers, or if any business owner is employing somebody without their papers, they can be fined $500 and spend 6 months in jail. So those were the quality of life officers. But last week, they didn't say anything about vaccines. They said, oh, these will be quality of life officers just in case somebody has a sofa in their backyard or garbage on the side of the road and a mess of a yard. And we knew exactly what it was going to be. I mean, it popped out the week later. I mean, this is evil. But she went to the Aspen Institute, and she works for Pelosi and Newsom. She's connected to California, guys. She works exactly right with Pelosi and Newsom. And then we've got our Governor John Bel Edwards, who is in bed with the Clintons, and he has been promised, if he vetoes what Louisiana health legislation said, no, our children aren't going to get vaccinated here, and he is going to veto it. He's already planned to, because he's been promised a place in Biden's cabinet when he passes this. And then we've got our third largest city. They set us up strategically, and that is Shreveport. And we had the youngest mayor of a major city in U.S. history at 24 years old. His last name's Perkins, Mayor Perkins, and he was put through, you ready for this, West Point Academy, and then also Harvard Law School by Michael Bloomberg, and has already started the first sustainable city in the United States, where my son got a letter last year during the pandemic that he was offered to stay in it and be paid $20-something thousand a year, and he could quit his job or he could stay at work and he would have free rent and everything. And I had to sit him down and tell him, son, let me explain to you what socialism and communism is, because you're running right into it. And he was like, oh, really? And guess who signed the bottom of that paper? Not only Mayor Perkins, but Bloomberg and Andrew Yang. So Louisiana is, whenever they had you guys have the eyes all over New York, Chicago, and California, and y'all are all spread over there worrying about how you're going to save them. The only way you're going to save New York, Illinois, and California is if all of y'all get down here right now and stop this, because we're going to need you, because most of the people here in Louisiana, their brains are fried. They're controlled. It's deplorable. I just got off the phone with my aunt day before yesterday, who told me my Aunt Mary, my cousin James, who is an eye surgeon, and my cousin Paul, who worked for Halliburton, not my fault, sorry guys, who worked for Halliburton, all back in December 2020, all of them ran and got the vaccine. I'm going to tell you, on December 25th of 2020, my cousin James, that's only a few years older than me, had a massive coronary, and now he needs a heart valve. Okay? And then my cousin James, who got it back in December in 2020, this November, if I'm not mistaken, he needs a heart valve. Then my Aunt Mary, that got it back in December 2020, this last October, had a massive heart attack and needs a heart valve. And they're saying it's genetic. And when I told them it was the vaccine, they told me I was crazy. So I'm done. Here we go. They're taking over Louisiana, and when they take Louisiana, Nuremberg Code will be abolished. You will not be able to do anything, like you can't do anything with the MMR vaccine when people die. You can't hold them for Nuremberg. When they pass Louisiana, it will be FDA approved. So we need millions at that state capital in Louisiana, and we will be lucky if we get 2,000. And guess what? Every other state will fall because of Louisiana. Nobody coming here and helping us because our people here are so brainwashed.
And the time frame is what?
The time frame, we've got about 3 weeks. And if we don't do this in 3 weeks, nobody will be held for Nuremberg. They're going to FDA approve it. The minute he vetoes it, he stamps it and says, the children of Louisiana can have it. They got an $80 million grant on June 4th, Oshner did, from Pfizer. And the children were all having heart attacks, so they decided to put trimethamine in it to prevent coronary acidosis, so they don't have heart attacks until later on. So now, since they're not going to show injury until later on, this is going to get FDA approved. So we need you all in Louisiana. We need the Freedom Angels. We need everybody in Louisiana right now. I'm crying out to everybody. Why do you think that Malone, Dr. Malone, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Christopher Key were all in Louisiana? Dr. Malone and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. do not go to legislative health hearings. They never do. They were in our legislative health hearing. It's on my Facebook page. You can go and watch it. Malone was there. Christopher Key was there. And also Robert F. Kennedy Jr., because they know if we lose this state, it's FDA approved. And 1986 Act, they can kill half the country and they wouldn't be held liable.
We had a little conversation that I instigated because often I see in groups like my Truther Pals group, folks advising other people to do this, do that, post this everywhere. And I'm thinking, okay, we post that. To whom? And for what result? Generally, folks who understand what's going on are preaching to the choir. The people that don't want to hear it aren't going to hear it. You're not going to change their opinions. So I said,
yeah,
well,
but
what do
the
you guys
people that I'm talking to right
feel
now
are the
need
most
you to get to
effective?
Louisiana.
Right. So just to take the temperature of the room, I said, what do y'all think are the things to do? And here's what came back. Go to government meeting protests, or stage meetings and disruption at government meetings, whether local city council or whatever. Post stuff online, do public protests, and have mailing lists. Now, another person said, yeah, that stuff doesn't work. We need to arrest these people. And that is what Christopher Key was endeavoring to do. So your take, Sterling, on what is effective, what will actually stop this in its tracks or change the game,
Stop this
is
in its
what
tracks.
specifically?
Probably 2 to 3 million peacefully protesting, taking up the entire streets of Baton Rouge around the Capitol. 2 to 3 million peacefully protesting. That will be the only
That's
thing that will
asking for a lot.
2 to 3 million. That's what we need. Well, the whole United States goes down if this passes. It's getting FDA approved here because of Louisiana. Okay, do you understand that? And once it's FDA approved, no Nuremberg, 1986 Act kicks in. Okay, we need 2 to 3 million in the streets of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Peacefully now, peacefully.
And it makes perfect sense
That's
to
what
me
it's
that
going to
you
take.
and I have been so sabotaged. I'm sorry, please repeat.
I just said that's what it's going to take.
It makes perfect sense to me that you and I have been so sabotaged and so much of our time has been wasted because we've been trying at this since January of 2019. And we're finally getting past the roadblocks thrown in our way by various, sometimes well-meaning people, but it's hard to tell. And Sterling and Steve both know what I'm referring to, but without any names or accusations because I empathize with wherever people are coming from. Really, totally. People are the result of their circumstances, and I don't throw blame against people, but what we are endeavoring to do henceforth is to not just interview knowledgeable people as has been done for the last few years, but to bring people into a forum like this where you notice that the casual viewer is wondering, what's Steve doing in this? It sounds like Sterling's the expert and Steve's just got his camera all wiggling around, and why is he there? Well, A, he's a friend of mine, a real life friend of mine.
He's a great
B,
guy.
he's extremely knowledgeable. He's got a high level of skills, wisdom, heart and soul, and capability beyond what anyone would imagine. And the whole point of what we need to do, in my humble opinion, I could be wrong, correct me if I am, is to get out of the celebrity culture, somebody save me, the government will do this, my religious deity will solve this, etc., and realize that yes, you are the divine energy that can and has been destined to flip this script, to change this game, to save mankind from tyranny. But in order to do that, we need strategy, we need organization, we need local teams of people that trust each other based on verifiable fact and legitimate history, pulling together and doing the right things with smart guidance, knowing what to do and what works and what needs to be done first, because we really are, as Sterling has pointed out, running out of time. So,
yeah, you've got about 3 weeks here.
I'm going to unmute Steve, if you want, Steve, and tell me what you think about all that.
Tall order is what I got to say. But it's good to know, to be able to come together in this forum to actually find directly from Sterling what's going on. As you know, me and my wiggling camera is that I spend a lot of time in the field. I don't have this nice, stable, not even a laptop. Yes, in that sense, I am in the trenches. I've been in the trenches all my life, it seems like. I mean, I guess I'm older. I hope I'm wiser. Yeah, I mean, I think we just what Michael was just saying about getting away from celebrity culture and whatever our like Sterling said, is Louisiana is mind controlled, the whole state, and I've been a student of that for quite some time. I have various reasons for having that avenue of research based on personal experience, and I feel that is one of the key elements in us being able to break through, they call it a spell, the collective spell and individual spell, like words, incantations, belief systems. I find that belief is, it's not as good as knowing. And you can't really know anything without direct experience. Speaking of direct experience, I have 5% left on my battery. So if it goes poof, just let you know. And I can't sacrifice the phone for the plug-in, or the headset for the plug-in. But yeah, so basically, when you come into the realize that you've been lied to from the moment you were born to now, and not to challenge people's religious beliefs, And yet we have this thing, we keep on looking out for the Savior. And I just saw, and it was in Truth or Pals, the James Corbett, it was embedded in James Fetzer's post. And James Corbett has a short history of hopium. And it's, and he takes it all the way through Trump and Q. And he didn't really get into Biden and the gods of science that are bringing this vaccination savior, like Jesus is, Fauci has become almost analogous to the Pope. And so that's part of our religious iconography. Another one that was in Truth or Pals that I followed just now, and I saw the whole thing, was Peter Matthias from Belgium, and talking about mass formation. It's like, so if we have thousands of years of programming to get through here, and not to say I don't want to challenge anybody's belief system, but I have found for myself that you got to go deeper than just biblical understanding. I
Indeed.
probably should shut up right now before I get in trouble. More trouble than I'm already.
Sterling, it's all good, buddy. Thank you for all those perspectives, and because that's really what we need to do is listen to. I think you're a far more than a regular guy, but from the perspective of the social media conscious public, he's just a regular guy. Like, yeah, and so we need to listen to the regular guy and bring the regular guys on board effectively. Sterling, I think what we can do is put together a press release specifically toward this direction and get it out broadly, explain the Louisiana situation, and
We got about 3
send that out
weeks
to all the people you know.
About 3 weeks, max 4.
So what I was saying yesterday about I need a paragraph on the Louisiana situation. Now I'm realizing, oh, wait a minute, it's more time sensitive than that, and we need more than a paragraph. We need and you can go back through what you just said, and you can transcribe it or whatever. But we can start from there. Excuse me, and explain the situation. Obviously, as you pointed out, RFK and Alex Jones and Stu Peters and Christopher Key and many others already know what's been going on in Louisiana, and
Malone too.
somebody
Dr. Malone showed up.
Who?
Dr. Malone
right.
showed up, the
Absolutely.
inventor of RNA technology.
He's been getting a lot of buzz lately. Thanks,
Well,
Rogan.
he showed up to Louisiana because he knows if we don't take Louisiana down, Nuremberg Code's abolished, it's FDA approved, and they can make everybody get it. And this is, unless they don't want their jobs.
Maybe John Schneider needs to go on Rogan and explain this. Is he articulate enough on the topic? Because I'm thinking,
I have to wait until
Louisiana superstar
Christopher gets out of jail, or Christopher calls me from jail to get back in touch.
If we can wait for that.
John Schneider. Let's see who they posted bail, because they might be holding him until after this is stamped. That's what I'm afraid of. But I'm going to talk to the criminal lawyers when I get off of here tonight. I could make the quick call right now, call Gigi and see if she has anything to say. You want me to try to call Gigi and see if she knows anything? Let's see.
Sure, we can put the audio online. Absolutely.
Try to call Senator Mikovich as well.
Right on. We are interdimensional, not locked down by normal structural constraints. Right, Steve? Steve, what happened to that laptop of yours? I thought you had it going on. Is it not with you?
You don't want to know.
Okay. Damn it.
Let me put it this way.
Hey,
Let me put it this way.
Gigi, have you heard anything else on Christopher Key?
I have not.
Do you think they made bail with him today?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I've been working on other stuff for the last couple of hours. I'm waiting for another attorney that's in Birmingham to call me back. So,
All right.
I'll let
Breaking
you know.
news, kids.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Bye. All right, I'm going to try to call our military whistleblower in Alabama, Miss Sherry
And Gigi's
Saunders,
an attorney friend of yours.
criminal attorney. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she's in our movement. She's been doing pro bonos for
And-
years. She went all the way to Germany and she was rescuing young women from Africa from getting mutilated. She's a very good person. All right, hold on.
And tell the folks what Sherry Saunders is known for.
Military whistleblower. She's the one that blew the whistle on anthrax in the military. Let me see if she knows anything.
Hello.
Hey, sister. I just wanted to tell you I'm doing a live right now, but I wanted to know if you heard anything else. Didn't Christopher Lee make bond yet? Do you know?
No, I've not reached out to anyone about that. I was assured yesterday that his family was going to be able to help secure that. So I felt confident that his family was going to be able to secure that with the information that I got yesterday.
Okay, I'm just afraid that they might just be trying to hold him until this thing in Louisiana passes, so it gets FDA approved, and then the 1986 Act is sitting there. That's why they went after Louisiana, and I'm afraid they might want to hold him until this is over with in Louisiana. That's what my fear is. So I know they were supposed to be able to set a bond today, but nobody's gotten back with anybody to find out. He's been written up in the Washington Post as well, as of today.
Well, I've not heard anything, so I'm sorry that I can't contribute.
Well, I love you.
I love you too. But
And I got a new show I want to put you on.
I felt real positive with the information I was given yesterday.
Okay, good.
That his family was going to be able to, secure this for him. So, all
right.
Everyone's praying.
I know we're praying so hard here. And as soon as I can, we want to get you on our show. I got a new show started.
All right.
I love you, sister.
I love you too.
Tell her I said hi.
Michael says hello. Bye.
Hello. Y'all be blessed.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. All right.
She's adorable.
They were assured that he was going to get out
Fighting a
on
lot.
bond. But I mean, I think by 4:48 we should probably know something by 5, right? Maybe by 5. So let me try to stick around and see what Stu Peters is saying.
Sometimes they like to push it to the last minute just to make you sweat, because
make them sweat. Yeah,
that way.
know. And they're going to do an outrageously high bond. You know that. His camera must have went out his battery.
Correct.
Yes. Let me see what Stu Peters is saying. And then maybe after this we can just go and talk about what are, a few minutes for our future with this and what kind of shows we are going to get out there. And hopefully we can have positive change for the world. Because again, the only people that are going to save us is ourselves. I guess I'm here all by myself again, guys. Hold on one second. All right, I guess I'm the only one on here. Sorry, guys, I'm looking at stuff. Oh, there's Michael. You're back.
And we're back.
I don't see anything from Stu Peters.
Hey, it's a party. We're all back.
Oh, wow.
We
I
get to
made
Last
see
thing was
mistakes
Mrs.
22
going
Silverman.
hours
and
ago.
chatting, and that I couldn't get back.
Say what, Steve?
I went to
I get
chat since I couldn't talk, and then I couldn't find my way back.
it. We're all
Start all
learning the
over.
tech. But low tech can work.
But what I was chatting, was that I will do what I can to spread the word about Louisiana, and I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to join today's podcast because you obviously know I don't perk too well with the electronic media and timing. So hopefully this can be on my next adventure is to show up. I don't know. We'll see.
It's a balance. It's
Sometimes
all good.
I think my neck's pretty far out.
I feel you. What I was intending to say further with Sterling is that if we get the word out appropriately, that somebody's got money to invest to put together some bus caravans. Know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we really need that out there. Yeah. I mean, if they take down Louisiana, then it gets FDA approved and the 1986 Act, and you can't hold anything against them. I don't care how many people they kill in Nuremberg. They had this plan the whole time.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Boy, I have
I
been
heard that from
warning people.
I heard that from Malone, and I didn't quite understand it. But you explained it
Yeah.
rather succinctly.
Yeah, this
Why and
is why
how?
Malone came down to Louisiana. This is why Robert F. Kennedy Jr. came down to Louisiana. This is why Christopher Key is in Louisiana. This is why my neighbor John Snyder from the Dukes of Hazzard is ready to come out and stand up right behind us, because this is serious, and the state of Louisiana's the whole United States fate sits on the state of Louisiana, sits on it. Okay. And what they have done is every parish, we call our counties parishes, has taken blood money. I mean, 70 million for one parish, a couple hundred million for another parish. I mean, this has probably gone close to nearly in the billions with how many parishes we have. Okay. So easily in the billions. Okay. We got blood money, and those school boards took it, and they said, "Oh yeah, fine. We'll make sure every 5 to 11-year-old is um, vaccinated with this COVID-19 jab. And if they can make it mandatory here, then it gets FDA approved. And when it gets FDA approved, then that's when the 1986 Act starts, and they can kill and maim as many as they want, and Nuremberg will not count." And that's what Malone was trying to tell you. That's why he didn't come to California. He didn't go to New York. He didn't go to Chicago. He came to New Orleans with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Christopher Key, myself, and many others, because we knew this and we have been screaming it in the streets. And everybody's finally listening because there's only 3 weeks left. Now we've got to get about a few million people at the Capitol. And they're not going to come from Louisiana because they've all taken the money.
Well, Malone also went on Joe Rogan, who's got more viewers than probably anybody at this point. I've seen the numbers,
Yeah, he
and
broke world history records. He broke Walter Cronkite's record on live views with Malone.
right. So the follow-up. Let's get that press release together. Sterling, you've got some writing to do tonight. You're going to have to turn everybody off for a little bit.
Turn everybody off.
Because only you can tell this Louisiana story.
Christopher, one of his people, then I got to stop what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So,
you need to write it down so we can share it.
Yeah. So, and I can share a few videos with you. An ESSR video where a lady explains what ESSR and where the money's coming from. And then a little 2-minute video by Kennedy to help you understand it. But I explained it, and then we can add this video in too. I mean, I know what they're doing to Christopher, and I know why they're holding him is because he is the key, like his grandmother told him. I named you Christopher with the word Christ in it because you have the key that the devil doesn't want the door opened. And she knew from day one, and he has the key to stop this in Louisiana. So it is what it is, guys. But I think this has been a great show.
I think it has been. And what I would ask of anybody here is how are we going to pull? I mean, like I said, it's a tall order. And just a little bit of a background for me, I went to Standing Rock, and that was back when veterans standing with Standing Rock, and that's what got me off my ass and actually going and taking action. Now, and what I found that there were busloads of veterans and Native American veterans that were showing up in droves. Now, granted, they were driving into a blizzard at the time. I can't believe I was actually driving into a blizzard, not away from one.
Yeah.
But so there would, but there, I guess there, and maybe it could have been a psyop. The veteran standing with Standing Rocks, a way to usurp energies. So, but yet there again, there's enough people that had the momentum to get there. And maybe if somehow or another, help me out with this, because I am not a natural for like this networking and massive, mass communication. I'm in the trenches, but the electronics, not so good.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go in CHD tonight and, write up a little bit of what's going on and let them help me. A lot of the journalists up in there help me write up something so we can get it out and get it out really nice. So I'm always so busy fooling with science that, need a little help with the journalism part, Now, if this was science and we were talking DNA, I could write you a book,
Right.
So I'll just kind of write a little summary to them, timeline, and see if they can help me fill in the dots and for us to get a press release out. Why we need to stop this in Louisiana. But it makes sense that they would pick on one of the poorest states because, they're going to take the blood money easily. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Good strategy.
Well, that makes sense from a strategy standpoint from them, and they're going to find the weakest link and go for it.
Yeah. And poor people want money. Mm-hmm. They don't look at the consequences in the future. They watch mainstream media and they think this is a safe vaccine. So
right.
It's a win-win for them, they think, but no. I mean, the money's going to mean nothing if you're dead.
Yeah.
Or if you're in paralyzing pain for about 5 years until it kills you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, in that sense, I mean, I'm the choir as far as the science of the vaccines go. But part of it is, for me, I think, is breaking set with the programming. Just, and how do you wake up people that are just plain already zombified? And
You can't. Sometimes you can't.
Well, and it's just like listening to the Mass Formation podcast with Malone and Matthias were part of. And so we work with that 10%. If we're the 10% and that are kind of committed and getting into this, and we're not ever going to do it, I mean, unless it just comes to that point.
Oh my Lord! I think I might be back.
What's that?
Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Stephen was talking to us. Go on, Stephen.
Huh?
Go on,
Do
Stephen.
continue, buddy.
Oh.
Go on, Stephen.
Well, I think someone like Joe Rogan will get a lot of people. So.
Okay, but let me just kind of get into the whole mind control thing for a minute. And I'm sorry, I don't have my headphones on and all that stuff. And it's like, and I guess one of the things Michael and I have talked about is, why is there such discord within our own community? And that's kind of, in other words, if we are in this 10 percentile of people who say hell no, when the 30 and 40% are totally hell yes, and then everybody in the middle is slowly going over into that 30 zone rather than over to the 10 zone. So we change our numbers by getting rid of the discord within our own family, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and there's a lot of time, and I have been chewed out 3 times in the last month on, I shouldn't be hanging out with this person, or I shouldn't be talking to that person, or the group that I have like 520 members in, I shouldn't have this person in the group, throw them out, and I'm like, I'm not here to please all of you. I'm just trying to fix this planet, and we all need to work together. So shut up and let's get our work done. Stop bitching and let's go. I'm done with it. I'm done with those kind of people. Yeah. And I'm not going to sit here and spend hours trying to make them make peace with one another. You know what? They need to stop acting like 5-year-olds and get together. And we need to get this done, because this is humanity. I mean, they're trying to turn us into friggin' cyborgs, the ones they don't kill.
I think a possible response we can have is, well, I hear you. I feel just terrible about your discomfort. So please come up with a solution for that and get back to me. In the meantime, I'll just keep both of you out, and or away from each other, and we'll move on, because we have to move on. Those that don't have a problem with participating in actions, we'll hang in there. And
I'm tired of the acute paranoia. I mean, we are going to get enemies. We are going to get infiltrators, but we can't think that everybody is an infiltrator and everybody is an enemy. It's going to happen. It's called war. It's going to happen. People don't realize this by now. This is a new kind of war, and this is World War III. Okay? And we are going to have infiltration. But that doesn't mean that, we're going to kick out good people. All we're doing is causing more divide, and they're laughing at it. Look at Miss Paranoia over there. She's tearing up the whole group. And I'm done with them. I'm done with those kind of people. They need to straighten up and act like adults and bring the 5-year-old asses back in their room to pout, get it over with, and come back out and act like adults. Okay?
Yeah.
We need to stick together.
Yeah. Well, that's where having a strong core group that has group cohesion, and I even think of it as field cohesion. In other words, for a car to work, for example, all the parts have a harmonic that makes it work. And when you have one part goes off, if you don't replace it, then, there you have it. So if let's get out of the Volkswagen fix it yourself mode, and let's get the Lamborghini railroad truck. Let's get it going.
Oh yes.
And so,
It just,
yeah, that's I I really don't. I have sometimes less insight than I don't know. It's a tough road to hoe sometimes, but we got to do it.
You guys are right on, and that's what I've been. I hate to pat myself on the back, but there's nobody else who can reach right now. And I've been saying the same thing for years, which is that we need strategic coordination between people who are of harmonious intention. And now is the time that it's becoming really obvious, because without it, how are you going to amass a lot of people to do one particular action?
you're right. You are right.
Agreed.
And sorry if my audio is weird. I'm in the process of getting to a 3:30 meeting.
Yeah.
That's okay. I guess we probably are about done, where we can wrap this first one up and make sure it went on all the platforms.
Yep. Well, the last thing I want to say is that our intention with our interviews going forward is to have them in a traditional interview format at the beginning, and then have probably pre-planned questions from sort of an inner circle of associates, and then have them participate in a community conversation where they, the expert becomes the coach.
And we also get a few interviewers, like, let's say one week you might be out, or one week I might be out,
Absolutely.
and Steve can help you host when I'm out, or I can help Steve host when you're out. We all need to learn this and get it going, because we need to keep this. We need to probably start doing it a couple of times a week really soon. I'll try to get a hold of a couple of our people to see if we can start setting some of those up.
Yeah, I agree. Within the next week, we should be doing at least 2 a week, and then be up to some sort of online activity, coordination, or conversation, or whatever, every day.
Yes, and on my actual Rumble channel, I'm going to be adding a few friends, including Christopher Key has asked me to add some of his videos up there. So to add content to my Rumble channel. But Christopher Key can't wait to interview with you. I wonder if we can do an interview from jail now. We'll wait until he's out. But
yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah, because he wants to be part of what we're doing.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Well, and I've talked with him several times.
Yeah,
he's
he
awesome.
Definitely wants to be part of our team. He's a real deal. He's a good guy.
I want to chime in here for a minute, but I'm going to leave. So, Michael, give me a call later. I'll call you. I stay up late. You know that.
Yep. All right, buddy. Well, Sterling,
we'll see what we can come up with. So,
hi, Steve.
I'm going to check out also.
Good to meet you finally, Sterling.
And nice to meet you. I know I've heard so much about you, and we chatted a few times, but nice to physically see you. You're a great guy.
I'm just an ordinary guy trying to work it out, right?
You're a great guy. You're trying to fix this planet. You're a hero. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm basically thinking in terms of, like, I go out and I meet perfect strangers, and even though we don't agree, if I don't find common ground, then there's no point, right? So I can have common ground with everybody. It's just a matter of having that openness and I mean, this is what we got to do. We got to open our hearts here, and it's hard to do sometimes because we've all been wounded in various ways. So
Every
I will
one of
leave it
us.
at that. I will leave it at that.
Well,
Thank you
you
very
have a
much.
great
Good to meet you all.
evening. Nice to
Aloha.
meet you.
Uh-huh.
And Michael, it was nice chatting again.
Always.
Always.
I'm about to drive, so we'll say
Okay.
catch you later.
Bye. Okay, over and out.
Thank you, Sterling,
Bye.
and thanks to anyone who's watching this. Get in touch with us. Links below. Cheers.